Hi guys, it's Amy. I am here to show you guys a really basic application using two brushes, the detail brush and the blush and bronzer brush. These are very often the two brushes that my customers start with, and I love, love, love them for your entire face application. So I'm actually going to start with my Perfector sponge. It is damp, and I'm putting my setting spray on. This primes my face. It is not a mandatory step, but I love it because it helps with the longevity of my makeup. And then I'm going to go in with my detail brush. I'm using the flat end of the detail brush, which helps to create a very nice line. And I'm placing my contour right under my cheekbones, on the top of my forehead. Then I'll place it along my jawline. And then the fourth place for your contour is right along the sides of your nose. This is an optional step. You don't have to contour your nose, but if you want to thin it out, this is the way that you would do that. And then I'll just connect them at the bottom and then draw lines kind of up towards the edge of my brow. So I've placed my contour. I'm going to keep that same brush and I'm going to flip over to the small end of that brush. And I'm dipping into the lightest highlight shade that I have, and I'm going to put that under my eye to brighten that under eye area. I'm mostly concentrating that on my inner eye, down along my nose a little bit, and then on my outer eye, pulling that upward so I create lift on my face. And just make sure you're not using too much makeup. Less is more. I'm going to take that lighter shade and just kind of apply it down the center of my face as well. And then I'm going to switch brushes to that fluffier blush and bronzer brush using the small end. And anywhere where I don't have makeup, I am going to start to put my main highlight shade. This is the darker of my two foundation shades, and this is the one that matches my skin tone. And I'm just lightly filling in any areas where I don't have makeup. And now that all the makeup is placed where it needs to go, I'm going to start blending. So it's your choice. You can blend as you go, each color, or you can place it all on your face, kind of like I did here, and then blend at the end. Either way is totally fine. I'm going to use the blush and bronzer brush to blend my makeup. Oh, I have a helper that comes now into the frame. You can use the smaller end of the blush and bronzer brush and kind of tap and push the makeup in a little bit as you blend it. Or you can flip it over to the very fluffy end and use the very fluffy end to blend as well. It's really just personal preference. But I'm going to go along my entire face, and don't forget your neckline, which is very, or your jawline, which is very easy to do. And just kind of blend all of that makeup in until it just starts to kind of magically melt together, and it just will look super natural. All right, so I lost my helper, and now I'm going to go ahead and apply bronzer. A bronzer is an optional step, but I do it in a 3 motion. I love bronzer every day. It just warms up my face. Like I said, it's a 3 motion on my face, so I start at the top of my forehead. I apply it kind of along my cheeks where the sun would naturally hit you, and then down along my jawline. If your neck is lighter than your face, which it often is, I also like to apply bronzer down onto my neck, and I am using the very fluffy end of my blush and bronzer brush for bronzer. And just a tip there, it is highly pigmented. You need the tiniest little bit of bronzer. It really goes a long way. Then I'm going to tap into my blush. I'm using the smaller end of the blush and bronzer brush and then kind of blending it out with the fluffy end, just applying that to the tops of my cheeks. And then I'll use my finger to apply that same lip color. You can mix your lip colors if you have more than one, kind of create a custom color. And I'm going to flip over to the back of my compact here. But first, I will go ahead and set my makeup. So if you have our setting spray, this is a good time to apply that. Again, just a damp sponge, a little bit of setting spray, and push that all around your face. Let that dry for a couple seconds. And if you don't have our setting spray, that's okay. You can skip that step. If you have your powder, this would be a good time to apply the setting powder. So I like to apply the setting powder under my eyes. You can put it in your T-zone, anywhere where you tend to be oily. If you have any blemishes, you can see I got a little bit of makeup on my face. I will just kind of wipe that away. This is not hard, I promise. It's foolproof. You can do it. And then I'm just applying my Illuminator. I'm tapping into it and I'm putting it on the tops of my cheekbones. It's going to give you a little bit of shimmer. You can put a little bit down the center of your nose, on your Cupid's bow. You can even put a little bit on your lip, create a little bit of a poutier effect. And that's it. I'm done. Those 2 brushes. If you guys have questions, please reach out. I'm always happy to help.